This week's episode takes us back to the Glowing Dawn's hideout. We are welcomed into the base via Tomorrow's finger beats. With his headphones in, doesn't hear Rena bursting through the door, angry with Tamara about the absolute destruction of the fridge's content thanks to Gekomon. Mostly angry that she's lost her almond tofu, which is about 300 yen, but we still don't know the realistic gauge of monetary conversion rates currently in the series, while Makoto is more concerned with Gekomon eating a week's worth of food. Tamara, already fed up with the hassle, tries to brush it off. Rena reminds Tamara that Gekomon is his Digimon, which in turn makes it his problem. Annoyed that it is her week to feed the crew, as ended before it started due to a lack of food, she takes Tamara to the pier to start fishing. Tamara was under the impression that cleaners make good money. Rena tells him to shut it, while we watch Makoto take produce from their little garden patch, which is very quaint. Pristimon tells Rena about a horse mackerel he can see in the water. Gekomon, impressed by Pristimon and Rena's teamwork, tries to get Tamara to help fish by spotting a large shadow in the water, which could have been anything. It could have been a Koromon, could have been a Sudramon, we'll never know. Tamara, who still hasn't really accepted Gekomon, sighs before launching his hook in the opposite direction of Gekomon's suggestion. We learn that Tamara doesn't like AI or Tamers, and with the entification of the world, which is a real word, I don't really blame him for not liking AI. Even though in this specific case it's more because him and AI aren't more compatible, we also learn that the term glitch is kind of a slur. But after this heartfelt message, we must now tell a funny, because feeling sadness in a children's show is wrong. How dare we? Rena seems to be afraid of snake-shaped objects, even if it's a bit of cloth blowing in the wind. Unfortunately, due to Pristimon's quick thinking, we end up with a bucket of fish with some extra holes for flavour. Next, we are taken to the kitchen where we see our holier than AI fish bucket during breakfast. Makoto states they could do with some more cleaner work as they are low on funds. I'm not sure if this is because they were already low on their funds, or if it's because Gekomon ate a week's worth of food, but Tamara says they just need to take down the big monkey, which Kyo states they have a pretty good information broker they should be able to get some leads off of. Tamara now turns into a garbage disposal machine. I'm not sure if we knew this before, but apparently my joke about Shanty Venice was right. As the team speedboats its way down the river into town, once they leave the boat, Tamara asks about the person who they are meeting, to which Makoto talks about the shop and how Digimon are technically a secret. Which brings up my point when everyone gets angry with Tamara for not knowing about Digimon. Guys, it's a secret, come on. We see Shamblemon's mini mushroom floating down the river. Gekomon's wanting for food then drags Tamara down a bike path towards the Smell's origins, where we find the Kanoko gang saddened by the loss of their Shamblemon. They tell Tamara that a lowly 500 credit Highmon tried to take their E-Pulse, but Shamblemon sacrificed himself to protect them. I just think it tried to take down the Highmon and got chomped. When questioned, they tell Tamara it had a piercing. Back with the rest of the gang, Rena is angry at the broker as there's no information about the big monkey, explaining that the big monkey has Asuka's Tamers. Mika calls in and we see a wanted poster with Haimon's scar, who was worth 300,000 credits, which must be due to the amount of cold hearts it's caused. The wanted poster has been removed as they know it has been defeated, but no cleaners have come forth with its Tamers. Makoto then tells them that Haimon with the piercing is actually the culprit to Hitomi's cold heart case and not the one with the scar. Kyo asks, is the mop hiding something? Let's be fair, it's a government agency. The answer is yes, but to what we don't know. The call ends with Kawarazaki telling them that they can hand the Sapatamas in if they want the reward. Call ends. Tamara now arrives. Flustered, Tamara tells Kyo that they need to leave and find the pierced Haimon as it's nearby. The team gets taken into the back room where Maki lowers the blinds. Now I'll be 100% honest, I thought she was about to beat the living daylights out of the Glowing Dawn. Maki then tells Tamara how the bounty system works. I don't believe Gekomon caused the crime, but he might have. Tamara and Makoto both tell Maki that the pierced Haimon is the real Cold Heart Bandit. Gekomon explains he can still smell Tamara's E-Pulse from the Haimon. Tamara explains why his E-Pulse would be lingering. Kyo says not to bother. We learn later this is because Sapatamas only have a short time frame before they are eaten by Digimon. Rena says it's not worth the credits. Tomorrow, the free spirit that he is, runs out of the shop and bumps into the older gentleman again, who offers him a ride. The others talk about the habits of hyenas, The reward on the high one suddenly shoots up to 100,000 credits. When questioned, Kawarazaki says that due to its attacking the Kinoko gang, his bounty has been increased. Gekomon doesn't like the smell of the gasoline-powered car, and I presume at this point we are so far into the future that gasoline-fueled cars might actually be fairly rare. Tomorrow, mithering about the others only looking at the value of things, the old man claims Kyo's not like that as Gekomon demands that they stop the car. Gekomon, the deviant that he is, crawls off in search of the smell. As Tamara is about to leave the car, the old man gives him some words of wisdom. Learn to trust your Digimon. Tomorrow, the rude child that he is, runs off without closing the car door. We are now on a building site. We see Haimon standing on a mound of dirt. Haimon runs out of sight. Gekomon runs up the hill and launches a tongue attack at Haimon, who has seen this move a few times before, and bites down on Gekomon's tongue, dragging them into the digital gate. As Tamara gets up the hill, sees Gekomon being dragged in, so decides it's time to grab on for the ride into Mirror World. As they fall through this place, Haimon digivolves into Fangmon, ready to take Gekomon down. Fangmon picks the environment for the battlefield, a digital forest, which is very pretty. Tamara calls out to Gekomon. When he turns around, he finds there's two on the floor. It turns out Fangmon is a bit of a trickster and is able to transform into Gekomon. Gekomon launches an attack, but Fangmon knocks him aside. Wolfmon comes in with the save and rockets Fangmon in the face. Tomorrow, surprised to see the team behind him, Rina remarks that the bounty went up, so now it makes sense to help Tomorrow, taking down this Fangmon. Chiropi uses curious eyes to track down Fangmon and sees it is indeed carrying two Sapatamas. After scanning the Sapatamas, Chiropi confirms it is indeed Hitomi's. Now Tomorrow is psyched back up knowing he can actually help Hitomi. Gekomon demands his daily sacrifice of Epaules. Tomorrow, intending to trick Fangmon, pretends to lose track of Gekomon, wandering into the forest in search of them. Fangmon, now lured into the trap, transforms into Gekomon and follows Tomorrow before their lust for the Epaules consumes them. Just as they are about to strike, Tomorrow jams a drumstick into the back of Fangmon's mouth. Now powering up Gekomon with his Epaules, Gekomon's tongue lashes down Fangmon's throat. I honestly don't think there's a good way of talking about this part, and pulls out Hitomi's Sapatamas. Gekomon and Tamara bucket out of there right as Fangmon breaks the drumstick, attacking them with an ice-cold chill of Blast Coffin. Gekomon does a Gum Gum No Tongue while renaming it Smash B, carrying on the musical theme Tamara has. Fangmon bites down once more on Gekomon's tongue, which is apparently what Gekomon wanted, and then throws them with their new named attack, Breakthrough! The damage dealt to Fangmon makes it de-digivolve back into Punimon, dropping the Sapatamas in the process. Makoto says they need to capture it, while Tomorrow demands it must be deleted. Gekomon doesn't want to do it, but Tomorrow uses the Epaules link to turn Gekomon into a little bit of a dark mode itself. Launching itself at the Punimon, Masamorimon blocks Gekomon with its great sword, ending up Omni slashing into a Chim Hazard, knocking Gekomon onto the ground, subduing it. Gekomon confused what just happened, we see Koyo holding the scared Punimon. Tomorrow angry that the cleaners aren't deleting this Digimon. Koyo remarks Glowing Dawn doesn't delete Digimon. And that is Glowing Dawn's #1 and only rule. We learn more about how Digimon are treated and looked at as nothing more than problems, glitches and errors, leading back to Tomorrow's flashback earlier in the episode, about how being called a glitch is a slur. Do Digimon dream of electric sheep? When we cut back, we are at the hospital where Hitomi and Asuka are staying. Before anyone notices Tomorrow and Gekomon, they sneak into her room and give Hitomi back her Sapatamas and leave. Gekomon is confused as to why Tomorrow didn't want to stay and make sure that Hitomi was going to be okay. Tomorrow still feels guilty that he caused her trouble in the first place. Intentionally or not, filled with a newfound hope that Asuka's Sapatamas is still out there and ready to be saved. Feeling remorse for yesterday's actions, apologizes to Gekomon, calling them Gekomon for the first time. Gekomon, feeling overjoyed by this, tells Tomorrow that Gekomon must now be important to Tomorrow, and Tomorrow declaring that he never said that. Gekomon then teases them all the way back to base. And that is episode 3. Overall, I think it was a really good episode. I generally do like the dark episodes of Digimon because it's more of a think piece. about how we treat society and people within society, and Digimon have always been very good about talking about society's needs and wants. I would like to see Gekomon evolve next episode, just saying, because I want to see what that angry little boy turns into. And I have a weird feeling he's going to turn into a snake now at some point, because of how Rina doesn't like serpents. So I could even see, joking aside, that Gecko may evolve eventually into like Minervamon, just for fun. But yeah, overall, super great. You may have noticed the Gigimon hat on my head and the newest shirt that I'm wearing. If you like the Gigimon hat, let me know, as it might be something I actually produce in the future. But overall, thank you for being here. If you do enjoy these, it does help out if you leave a like or comment or share or tell me you love me. Don't have to, I'm married, it's fine. But no, thank you for being here, and we shall hopefully enjoy Sunday's episode, which is looking to be good. They're always looking to be good. So, yeah, keep going, Digimon. We love you all. Mwah! Peace out and goodbye.